Good morning, YouTube. I'm going to do a little smelting today, and let me run through my setup real quick. I wanted to do this earlier. It's about 20 to 11 here, but I left these wheel weights in my truck last night, and we had some dew, pretty good amount of dew that was on the ground this morning, so they were obviously wet. Hindsight, I should have put them inside. But those are the things that you learn from experience. Doesn't matter how much research you do. You know, some things you just can't pick up without actually doing the work. This is the bucket I'm going to put my waste in. This is the bucket I'm going to put my ingots, my finished ingots in. Hot plate, stainless steel container for smelting, thermometer. And try to keep our temperature around 700 degrees. I may have to adjust that. We'll have to see. Candles for fluxing. A little bit of sawdust for fluxing. My ingot pan. My spoons. Safety equipment. Full face mask. Gloves. Hat. A filter for breathing. And this is a lighter for igniting the flux to keep the smoke down. I made myself like a little alcove here with a table on each side of my truck tailgate and a little table over here just to give myself plenty of room to work. Got my extension cord going to my hot plate. I made sure I got that out of the way. I sure don't want to trip over that and get a face full of hot lead. Although my wife may say that's an improvement. Just kidding. She loves me, she wouldn't say that. Alright, we're going to start by getting some weights and putting a few in the bottom. Once you get a few melted, the rest of them melt a little faster from what I've researched. So let's go ahead and turn our eye on. Start getting that warm. Put it on high. I may have to adjust that in just a bit. Okay, I'm going to try to show you as much as I can of this process. Put some lead in here. Start it melting. Try to pick up, there's a lot of trash in here. I'm going to try my best to get that out as I put it in. Most of it, valve stems and paper, and I even found a screwdriver, and it looked like it was a good one. So you heard that? A tree just fell in my backyard. Get some smoke action here. I think that's just the grease burning off at this point. Try to let you see what it looks like in the pan. If you can see that smoke. It's been a few minutes and my lead is already starting to melt, if you can see in there. Well, the hot plate wasn't working out. Only the lead that was in the middle of the pan and touching the bottom was melting. I left it for a good 20 minutes and hardly any of it melted, so I ran to my local Lowe's and got a fish fryer, and I guess I got pretty lucky because it seems to me, for a novice's opinion, that this may work out to the best. So I'm going to get this put together and then we'll give it another try. I got my fish fryer together and got it hooked up to the gas, and it came with this this pot and this strainer. Like I said this morning, I learned a lesson about leaving my wheel weights outside overnight. Well, while I was gone to Lowe's to get the fish fryer, I left my pack of candles out here, and as you can see, they're melted. There's a whole puddle of wax here, and most of them are melted. So lesson learned number 2, don't leave your candles out in the sun while you go to Lowe's. I'm going to light this fryer up, and we're going to get going here. Turn this thing all the way up to high, and it does throw out some heat. So I'm hoping it'll melt my lead like I want it. Go ahead and put this pot on here. Throw some lead in there. Turn this up a little bit. Yeah, that thing's getting hot. Yeah, that lid's already melted. Valve still in there. As you can see, I got my pot pretty full. A little over 700 degrees, about 720 degrees here. I'm just going to let that melt down. I'll give you a progress update real quick. I've got probably about 3 gallons of the 5-gallon bucket of lead in my smelting pot. And I got my temperature, it's been fluctuating between about 680 and 720. The lead seems to melt faster if you do stir it every minute or two. And it's pretty easy to see which ones are zinc. My plan seems to be working out. That one right there is zinc. And there's several of them in here, more than I would have thought, that are zinc or some other metal. There's another one. There's a big one right there. There's another one. So there are quite a few zinc ones. But if you push the weights down into the molten lead, once you get the lead on the bottom hot, the lead wheel weights melt pretty fast. So it's pretty evident in a quick amount of time that which ones are zinc. I'm going to let this cook just a little more. I may add a little more lead to it. I don't want to overload this thing too much, so I may do another batch. As you can see, my 97-cent spoon that I got from Walmart is not holding up well. So I'll have to come up with something else on that end. Okay, I'm about to flux the metal. Got a little bit of candle I'm putting in there. A little bit of sawdust. Stir this around. I think it's important to flux the metal to release the lead off of the clips and the zinc that did not melt. Make sure you scrape the sides real well. Let's see if we can light a match and get this burn off pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to start trying to get some of this trash off.